are you?
I am Mrs. Smith.
No, I'm Mrs. Smith.
Ladies, you're both Mrs. Smith.
Stan, what on earth?
Surprise! I got us a second wife. You know, to help with cooking and cleaning. Her name's impossible to pronounce, so I just call her Thundercat.
What? You got a second wife?
I love husband. I will serve him in this life and next.
Look, Francine, it's just the way things are done here. Think of her as a full-time housekeeper we don't have to pay or give our out-of-style clothing to.
All right, so clearly he didn't do best practices and speak to Francine first regarding second wife and where everybody stood. He simply married. Next you know, she's in the kitchen cooking.
But then he also made it seem as though the second wife is just this doggone housekeeper, this live-in housekeeper as well.
It was the machete in the drawer for me, talking about whip up a feast. I'm like, we don't have a say over what we do and cook and all that stuff. He said, whip it up.
Oh my gosh.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. I'm Coach Nazir.
And I'm his wife, Coach Fatimah.
And I am Coach Nyla. I am also his wife.
We are the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as the authors of the new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. And we also here with your favorite relationship and polygyny coaches. So with that being said, we have something special for you today. We're going to do a reaction video to something that's kind of funny. There's a lot of stereotypes, a lot of myths in one of America's favorite shows by America's favorite dad, created by Seth MacFarlane. The show is called American Dad. So we're going to just jump right into it. It's pretty funny, but there are some points that we're going to discuss and talk about and so on. Not necessarily recommending you try to go find the show and all that, and it's in 2 parts in a really, really early season. Nevertheless, it's classic. But with that being said, let's go ahead and pull it on up.
My husband cannot remember to put the toilet seat down. Better than leaving toenail clippings in the sink.
My Stan is just as bad. I guess no matter where you go in the world, marriage is always the same.
Oh, look, husband is home. How was your day? Would you like a snack?
Let me draw you a bath. Oh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. See how normal things can be, and then all of a sudden, the same people you were just talking to, all of a sudden they're in polygyny. So it's but yeah, that's
And that's just even the polygyny part. It's the whole picking them up, carrying them too. Now, the one thing is the drawing a bath, would like to eat. You know, that stuff not a big deal. It's the whole picking the up thing for me.
All 3 of them.
oh yeah, a lot of people think it's the worship and the service of the husband and all that kind of stuff, which is hilarious.
I think we all serve each other, but that was a whole other level of the game.
Hello, assorted family members.
Wow, someone's in a better mood.
I sure am. I was thinking about how you said we should immerse ourselves in the culture. Well, I couldn't agree more.
Great. Let's talk about it in the car. I want to see the palace before sunset.
Baby, slow your roll. I learned something interesting today. Did you know... Haley, come here. You'll appreciate this, too. Do you know women can't leave the home unless accompanied by a man?
What are you talking about? We all left the house earlier.
Right, and Steve was with you. In this culture, he's considered a man.
I am?
You sure are. Also, there's no cursing, dancing, singing, no bars, no movie theaters. Oh, and women can't drive or ride bicycles. And here's the best rule. The man has final say on everything. So no, Francine, we're not going to see the palace. We're going to do whatever I want, and there's nothing you can do about it.
This is ridiculous. If you don't want to go out, I'll go by myself.
Francine, I forbid it.
Yeah? Well, too bad.
This belong to you?
Thanks. Just put her anywhere.
yes.
It's too much.
Lot to unpack there because, you know, again, it goes into the whole stereotype, you know, women don't have a voice and all this stuff. Now, this is not dealing, you know, with Islam in general or whatnot. It's dealing with Saudi Arabia. So the show is actually called Stand of Arabia. But yeah, a lot going on there.
The machete up to the throat took me down. That was just like, y'all really
Does this belong to you?
10 seconds.
Did you hear he said it just belonged to you? Like
when he said put her anywhere, like she was a what is that?
Amazon package.
Amazon package. I was done. Like she's a vase. Just put her anywhere.
I mean, like we're laughing at it. It's, it's joking type of stuff. But that's the thing. That's the stereotypes that they have of like, okay, yeah, just talking about Saudi Arabia, but you look at it, they're, you'll see them in the thobes and the, the abayas and, the traditional Islamic clothing, so to speak. And yeah, so people will say, oh, yeah, that's how Muslims are. Men are oppressive to their wives and, wives are property to their husbands, whatever type of thing. So, yeah.
I invited the fellas over for a feast after work, so I figured you could whip something up. Or as they say in this country...
Forget it! You may keep me locked up in this house, but I control what I do in it. Or as they say in my country...
Fine, I'll cook it myself.
Who are you?
I am Mrs. Smith.
No, I'm Mrs. Smith.
Ladies, you're both Mrs. Smith.
Stan, what on earth?
Surprise! I got us a second wife. To help with cooking and cleaning. Her name's impossible to pronounce, so I just call her Thundercat.
What? You got a second wife?
I love husband. I will serve him in this life and next.
Look, Francine, it's just the way things are done here. Think of her as a full-time housekeeper we don't have to pay or give our out-of-style clothing to.
All right, so... Clearly, he didn't do best practices and speak to Francine first regarding second wife and where everybody stood. He simply married. Next you know, she's in the kitchen cooking.
But then he also made it seem as though the second wife is just this doggone housekeeper. Yeah, this live-in housekeeper as well.
It was the machete in the drawer for me. Talking about whip up a feast. I'm like, we don't have a say over what we do and cook and all that stuff. He said, whip it up.
Oh my gosh.
Lovely home.
You knuckleheads, what'd you do? Faziz, was this you? Wow, a man dress. It's beautiful.
Back off, Thundercat. Sorry? Don't play innocent with me. Stan's just gone a little native, that's all. But he's still my husband, and only my husband.
I love husband. I will serve him in this life and next as number one wife.
You can forget it! As soon as Stan talks to his boss, we're going back to America without you! See that? That's a wedding ring. I'm Stan's only real wife.
Husband give me ring too, and it has inscription.
Where?
Bam!
You want to dance? Let's dance.
No cat fight.
Ooh, it's like crescent cake.
The dishwasher was
All right,
out.
so yeah, the whole he's just going native because women sometimes they prefer the men to just cheat or just sow wild oats, if you will. We take it back to the Zamumba king, then to have another wife. Well, he gave me a ring, so I'm the real wife, the only wife type thing. And then of course you got Thundercat with the I'll be his first or type thing. So she coming to take over. All of these myths and stuff thrown up in there. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's that part. They feel like the whole got to be sworn mortal enemies and fighting each other and whatever, all of that stuff. Oh my gosh.
The corkscrew took me out. That was the fighting in the kitchen and the women are physically hitting each other.
Right. Like a whole
that was another
brawl.
level. Yeah, it was brawling in the kitchen. See.
Pardon interruption. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you could thrive better in the community that's more supportive? Now, I already know the answer to that. But did you know that Outstanding Personal Relationships actually has a community that is supportive and where we really hang out a lot? It has a number of areas and things like, for example, I deal with the men in the Kings and Men section, where we discuss a number of different men issues, whether it's polygyny related, parenting related, whatever it may be. This is where we communicate and connect.
And as an introvert, I love the idea of an online community. So we have that. And to be able to speak with like-minded people, speak with other wives, wives, whether you're an incoming wife, whether you're a first wife, you're a wife, period, in general, you only practicing monogamy, whatever the case may be, to be able to be in a community with people who understand what you're going through, understand any type of issues you have, and also being in a place where you have support from others, where it's not all over social media for everybody else to see.
Yes, and it is a safe space. So if you guys want to see us, or if you want to connect with us, come to our community.
Indeed. And like they said, it's private. All right. So you don't have to worry about your stuff being all over the place or all on social media, trying to find the comments and go scroll. We have the subjects. We have all this type of stuff. Just go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. Look on the top of the page. Click on community. We look forward to seeing you there. Back to the video.
Great.
It's fantastic.
The color really brings out your eyes.
Assalamu alaikum. Director Bullock, I'm surprised to hear from you.
Yes, well, my sources tell me I may have overreacted to your speech. Therefore, I've decided to give you your old job back.
I don't know, sir. I kind of like it here.
Like it? Are you mad? Think carefully about what you're doing, Smith. If you turn me down now, you're finished. You can never come back to the CIA.
Fine. I don't want to come back to the CIA or the USA. I officially renounce our American citizenship. The Smiths are staying in Saudi Arabia forever. This is my country now. I am Stan of Arabia.
Hey, you never know where you're going to find brotherhood. You notice he looked back at his brothers. They were chuckling and bought him a gift. Clearly his love language.
He adapted to the culture very quickly.
Words of affirmation.
It didn't take long for him to be like, oh, yeah.
All right, men run everything. So, yeah.
Francine, Thundercat, there's no need to fight over me. I love you both equally.
What?
Francine, we live in Saudi Arabia now. And in Saudi Arabia, Daddy makes the decisions, Mommy makes a sandwich. Mommy makes a sandwich.
You've lost it, Stan. Has your boss called to offer you your job back yet?
Nope, he didn't call me an hour ago. Or maybe it wasn't more like an hour and a half ago. Delicious sandwich, number one. I'm sorry, she's in the lead now. She got 50 points for making the sandwich. Oh yeah, there's points.
In the lead, like it was a horse race.
That's how it started.
I can't handle it.
Love you equally. You see her mouth? What? You know what I'm saying? They're taking score and all that stuff. You make a sandwich, and then she broke off to go ahead into a full-blown sprint.
After he repeated it.
Came back, all subservient. Oh, gosh. But people with age think that's what polygyny is. You know, you're in the same house, you're in the same kitchen. You go do this. You don't do this. Somebody else going to do. But there's a point system, too.
Points.
Yeah, there's a point system, too.
She took the lead. She's number one now. You ain't listening.
Oh, my gosh.
Crazy.
It's so good to have Stan working with us on the pipeline, and not for the United States.
Imperialist swine.
They want to enslave all Arabs.
You know damn well that America does not want to enslave all Arabs. Just the ones who have oil. Am I right, fellas? Yeah, Americans. Bunch of douchebags. Praise Allah.
Before he smoked.
Did you see how they were looking at him?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, so...
Seth needs intense therapy. I don't know what happened to him, but who he talks to, but that was hilarious.
Off limits for,
nobody said.
You know, so
Go catch it.
Those are some of the the lessons you can really garner from it, because there's so many stereotypes, and again, there's truth in jest. So when he talks about only the countries with oil, for example, we know at least now, I think it was Uganda, that has just been discovered to have approximately 12 trillion in gold deposits. So yeah, that may prove interesting in their political sphere and what's going on. So again, there's truth in jest. And there's so many stereotypes and other things that go on. We just had to share it because it's funny. When you're in polygyny, you know what it is. But the sad part is that some people take the jest and think it's truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally take it to heart and run with it.
That's the sad part. Yeah, it's a cartoon. Yeah, there's some truth sprinkled in and jest. You know, that's just what makes humor that much more funny.
Right.
But again, you know, yeah. Yeah.
You remember when you showed it to me? This was early in polygyny. And he's like, oh, this is so funny. I'm like, yeah, it's funny. Ha, ha, ha. But I watched it again, and it's hilarious, to be honest. If you're not watching it with a bias, I don't know how you could watch it and not laugh, but I wasn't in no laughing mood when I first saw it. But it is so funny because it's just, and I think oftentimes we need to lighten up a bit and be able to laugh at much of this, because if we just start thinking too much, you'd be crying. With a tear in my eye, I was laughing at it. I don't care. It was funny.
I'm telling you,
it's hilarious.
This thing I do, so when I saw him do it, it's hilarious. Like we might go to iftar or somebody's house or something like that. And then when it's time to go, you know, the women are with the women and men are with the men. You don't want to send one of the kids or call a name. You don't want to do any of that. So I started going, like, you know, it's a joke. It's funny, but if my wife, they would know it was me. And, you know, it's an inside joke. So it was funny to me. So when he did that, hilarious.
Because somebody at the thing was like, did he just clap? I'm like, yeah, he want to get killed.
Hey.
It was another incident, and it's so nice to just be able to sit here and laugh at this stuff now. And I think Coach Nazir called from the basement where the brothers were, because the women were upstairs, and he's talking to me about polygyny. You called me up. Didn't you say it was cool to get another wife? I said, boy, you better leave me alone. And the brothers heard it, and they all started laughing. You could hear them in the background. He was like, you're supposed to play along. Little did we know. But it was so funny. So to just laugh at much of this and have those good days where you just can go, look, now you're out of pocket for this. But we get it. We get it. We get why this is a thing and why they put jest in it. But it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole polygyny, as well as the just being Muslim anyway, like the Muslim country, because when I converted and when I was studying before I converted, it was these different stereotypes, you know, like I stated, people. I remember one big stereotype that I heard a number of times was like, well, don't you walk like 3 feet behind the man and all these? So it's like looking at these things and like, wow, people just really don't know, you know, and then they'll take these different things. And I was like, okay, well, if men are supposed to be protectors. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. If men are supposed to be the protectors, how is someone protecting someone that's 3 feet behind him? He can't even see them. So anyway, so it was those type of things where if you're not logically thinking about the things, you will take a lot of the stereotypes and run with it, and it will make you feel away and everything like that. So yeah, really interesting.
All right, y'all. So this was funny. We had a ball with it. Of course, you know, we do more reaction videos and different things, so we don't have to deal with the other copyright issues and so on and so forth for like YouTube. So if you have not already joined our private community, do so. OutstandingPersonalRelationships.com/invitation to get the details. You can go ahead and join there. It's free. And then, of course, we have premium areas where we go deeper for those who want to heal and build and develop strong, fulfilling relationships, whether that is in monogamy or polygyny. All right. So with that being said, we out. We're going to end with some GLC, and we hope you enjoyed today's reaction video.
Make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.